fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. I didn't know I was following Jesus, otherwise I wouldn't have volunteered. Won't be as funny, but hopefully it'll be a little bit informational and motivate you to sharpen your saw. Before I tell you guys what it means to sharpen your saw, I'd like to tell you a little story to illustrate. There were two woodsmen, and they were tasked with cutting down trees. They both started at the same time, and they both had the same saw, the same tools, the same general strength. They both start, and after about 20 minutes, one of the guys goes off and disappears for 5-10 minutes, comes back, continues to saw. The other guy sitting there, continuing to saw, never stopping, sweating. The other guy, 20 minutes go by, disappears, comes back 5 minutes later. The other guy keeps on sawing. This process repeats itself 3 or 4 times, and at the end of the exercise, they compare to see who chopped down, who sawed the most wood. And turns out the guy that was leaving every 5 minutes or every 20 minutes ended up sawing more wood, chopping down more trees. And the first guy was confused, and he says, if you were taking so many breaks, how did you saw down so many more trees than I did? And the guy says, it's simple. When I was leaving, what I was doing, you didn't see me, but I was sharpening my saw. That means that he was able to accomplish a lot more because he had better tools. And this is what sharpening your saw means. It means continuing your relentless pursuit of excellence and making sure that you have the tools necessary to be your best. And it also kind of piggybacks on my last speech, and it's perfectly also aligned with Jesus' speech tonight. So that's very serendipitous. Sharpening your saw. There's 5 areas that we focus on when we're sharpening your saw. And just to cite my references, this is loosely tied to the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Has anyone read that book? Okay, so you know kind of what I'm talking about. And for those of you that like to take notes, I'll write these down. The first one is the physical arena. We need to sharpen our saw physically. We need to take care of our bodies. We only get one, but we need to make sure that we're eating right, that we're getting enough sleep, and that we're exercising. When you exercise, it's been scientifically proven that you're releasing endorphins, you're reducing stress, and you look better, feel better, and that adds to your confidence and well-being. Focus on your physical self. The second arena is mental. Focus on your mental abilities, on staying sharp. Read. If you don't like to read, download Audible, listen to audiobooks. Feed your mind. Come to Toastmasters. Believe it or not, this is building yourself up. You're practicing to become better. You're investing in yourself, in your mental capacity. Stay sharp. There's tools out there like Lumosity and different things, puzzles that you can use to stay sharp. You want to keep your mind sharp to make sure that you're operating at peak mental efficiency. Social. You want to sharpen your saw and make sure you're focusing on the social aspects in your life. Use your networks. Don't go at life alone. I know sometimes you were jokingly about loners and people that talk to yourself. We're social beings. We're social animals. We rely on each other. We feed off each other. You guys see how great this group is because we're supportive of each other. Don't go at it alone. Think about the redwood trees. That the redwood tree is unique in that the roots are really, really shallow. And the reason the redwood trees are able to grow so tall and withstand winds and different forces are because their roots, although they don't go deep into the ground, they spread out. And what ends up happening is they intertwine and they're supporting each other. And that's how we are. We should support each other and build each other up. And that's what we do here. Build your social circles. Spend more time with your friends and family. Don't necessarily spend more time at work. We focus so much on work that we forget about the people that we care about, the things that are really important. No one got to their deathbed and said, I wish I could put in more hours at work. Think about that. spiritual. Focus on your spirituality and not necessarily, this doesn't necessarily have to be anything religious. It's something, it's a connection that you have with a higher power or however you see spirituality being. I personally do relate it to my relationship with Jesus Christ and with God, and that really builds me up and motivates me, and it's actually gotten me through some of the hardest times in my life. Make that connection, build it up. If you do observe a religion, read the Bible, the Quran, whatever it is that you follow, and build that relationship up. If not, you can interpret that as being meditating and really getting in tune with your inner self. And that brings us to the last one, which is emotional. Arun gave a speech a few weeks ago about emotional intelligence, your EQ, and it's so important to sharpen your saw and work on this arena, because emotions are so important, and it ties back to self-talk, what you tell yourself, how you treat yourself. Sometimes you have to stop and think, and you realize that the things that you tell yourself, you wouldn't tell your worst enemy. And so we have to control that, because our thoughts become our habits, and our habits become our lives. The more we control our self-talk and our emotions, the better off we are in the long run. Emotional intelligence is very important. It's been said that life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% how you react towards that. We need to focus on our emotional intelligence and our emotional quotient. Keep that in mind. So those 5 arenas, if you focus on those, you invest time in those types of activities, you will see improvement over time. Don't forget, you don't want to be sawing with a dull blade. Invest the time, put the work into yourself, and you'll see how it pays off. And always reach for your full potential. Madam Toastmaster?